And there's a road I have to follow.
He really shouldn't even have been there because, you know, by that stage he was a fully fledged first team squad member and a regular starter for Cobh Ramblers in the League of Ireland First Division. And he really was doing a favour. He was still eligible to play, so it was a game, and you know, it was Belvedere. You could get one over on a high profile sort of side, and you know, that's, you know, that game was even a replay, and you know, Cobh really should have won that first game. You talk about sliding doors again, but you know, that afternoon, Owen McCabe was even going to see a different player. He was going to watch Jamie Cullimore, who was Cobh Ramblers' left winger. So, you know, even in terms of the scouts and what they were looking for, Keane wasn't on the list. You know, and you call it whatever, a twist of fate or, you know, something else, coincidence, I'm not sure. But that day, Noel McCabe saw something.
We were playing Belvedere boys in Dublin in a cup replay, and initially they were to have a look at Jamie Cullimore, a local lad in Cobh.
I was told before the game that there was Nottingham Forest scout had come to watch me, so that didn't do too well for my nerves that day, and I didn't perform that well. But the same day I had a blinder, and the scout eventually ended up asking him would he go over on trial to Nottingham Forest. That was the start of the Roy Keane story.
Half time, a chap called Noel McCabe, who was the scout for Nottingham Forest at the time, came to me and asked me about number 10, who was indeed Roy Keane.
I was desperate, you know. At the time I was 17, 18, unemployed, you know, and I was desperate to get a break. And I knew that if I did get a trial, I would grab the chance. The U team asked me to do it. It would be an important game against Belvedere. So I played in the game at Cobh. I think we drew 2 each. And then we went up to replay and we got beaten 4-0. But after the match, I think it was John O'Rourke came up to me and says, oh, there was a Forest scout. And he was interested, but I just thought no more of it because I've heard that story, you know, hundreds of times. You know, someone's looking at you today and if you can do well, you get a try. So I thought no more of it.
It didn't matter what's going on. It was he stood out in the game because he was head and shoulders above the rest as a player. He could do things like his heading, his passing, his speed, and each time that he saw that it was on the ball, he was expressing himself in such a way that he looked special. We met in the Ashling Hotel in the Houston station, and immediately I was pleased with his attitude because he wanted to become a footballer, and he gave me the impression that, you know, he would nearly swim over things to become a footballer. So I set it in motion that he would visit Nottingham Forest shortly afterwards.
You know, Tony Gorman, who was one of Roy's closest allies on the FÁS course that he was on at the same time, remembers Keane meeting him later that night. And explaining the fact that he'd been approached by McCabe and that Forest might be interested in bringing him over.
And I wouldn't say I was a cocky kid, but I knew if I got a trial to England, I knew I wouldn't be coming back.